STEM teacher Steph here, reporting sort of live from Eagle County, where the superintendent of the school district sent this letter to homeowners begging to open up space for teachers coming in this school year. This has apparently now made nationwide news. There are reports that teachers have been okayed to bring their RVs and live on them on school grounds. Yeah, that's how dire the situation appears to be.
Now we know the cost of everything has gone up. Inflation is a beast in a bad way, and the cost of everything is going up. Education, food, healthcare, you name it is going up. And although gas prices have gone down, they're not as low as they once were. See, this is how they seduce us. They put us in this trap. But for this particular segment, I want to talk to you about teachers. Yeah, beloved teachers in Santa Clara County. Now check this out. A proposed solution for educators not being able to live in the districts they serve due to outrageous housing prices is for parents to volunteer to rent out a room. You heard me right. For parents to volunteer to rent out a room in their home so the teachers can stay close by. Yes, this is an actual action that was recommended to solve this problem. Let's go deeper. So this is happening in the Milpitas Unified School District in Santa Clara County. And Santa Clara County, the housing there is one of the highest. In other words, the rents to be able to live there, one of the highest in the country. To be able to buy a home too, one of the highest in the country. And so teachers there cannot afford housing. Now, how is it that in the United States of America this is happening? It's happening. And not only is it happening to teachers, it's happening to people from all walks of life. But for the school district itself to come up with a remedy, which is to ask parents to sign a form, to complete a form, if they are willing to volunteer to rent a room to a teacher, is beyond pale. Now, let me get this straight. We are not paying teachers enough, not only in this county, but in this nation, to be able to afford housing, whether they're renting or whether they're buying. Houston, there's something wrong. Something wrong with this picture. And we all should be outraged and ashamed that this is in fact a reality. And with a straight face, the school district came up with this for a solution. It is not a solution. It is the canary in the coal mine when it comes to housing, just one of many. About 500,000 people sleep on the streets at night at any given time. This is a scourge on this nation. There are some basic things that people should be able to afford. But can you riddle me this? Teachers with degrees. They went to school. They did what they were asked to do. They are degreed. They are in the professional class. And here we have a county in the great state of California where teachers cannot afford rents or mortgages, and parents are being asked to rent out rooms. Okay, I want to turn to an excerpt that was in Common Dreams. Many thanks to Common Dreams for covering this, and big ups to Julia Conley, who is the author of this particular article, the writer. She wrote this article to let us know what was going on. So here we go. According to real estate website Redfin, Santa Clara County is now, as I stated before, one of the least affordable parts of the country for teachers, with 0 homes currently on the market that would allow teachers to pay 1/3 of their income on rent or mortgage payments. In addition to losing teachers to other districts, Milpitas is struggling to attract qualified educators who earn on average $73,536 in California, which is higher than some other teachers in other areas. But let us not forget that the cost of living in California, especially in certain cities, is very high. So when the cost of living is high, you need higher salaries. So what might seem like a very good salary, let's say in Cleveland, Ohio, or in Cuyahoga County, is not a good salary in Santa Clara County in California because the cost of living is so extraordinarily high. So not only is this a burden on the teachers themselves and their families, there is always a ripple effect, especially when we're doing wrong. And when I mean we, the system is wrong in this. So that ripple effect is the teacher, their families. You want to talk about student debt? Let's just go on and rock and roll with that too. If you can't afford a mortgage or to rent a place to stay, God knows them student loans you took out to get that education, you cannot afford that too. Ultimately, though, it hurts the students and their families in these districts, in this county, because now they cannot attract the talent that they need to educate the children of that county and of that district. And they don't deserve that, and neither do the teachers. They deserve better than this. Housing is a human right. So we have a housing crisis on our hands, no doubt. We've known this for quite some time. This story just illustrates, is just another example that the struggle is really real. And if teachers can't afford to find places to live, highly degreed, professional class, and speaking of professional class, we don't treat our teachers like we treat lawyers and doctors. They right up there with them, even more so, because they are molding the minds of our young people. What is more important than that? Parenting, and then there's teachers. Those two things mold the minds of the next generation, the people that will pour into this nation, into this world. And they deserve a lot better than what they're getting. We need to elevate the profession of teaching, as a matter of fact. They should not be struggling like this. No worker should be struggling in this way. But when it comes to teachers in the professional class, we treat them like they're the paupers, when they really are the kings and the queens of the game, because they have our children, the precious resources of this nation and this world, in their hands. And it is really a damn shame. Santa Clara County definitely is a reminder that this crisis must be fixed, that school district needs to do better, i.e. increase the salaries of their teachers, because asking teachers to rent rooms from the parents of their students is not a solution, is not going to work, does not cause one to live in dignity. Teachers should be able to afford to rent or to have a mortgage anywhere in this country. And as it goes with teachers, matter of fact, everybody should be able to do that. So as a nation, we must turn to change the social contract and see housing as a human right. Bringing up FDR, yet again, the Economic Bill of Rights that he was working on, part of that Economic Bill of Rights that he was working on before he died, housing was in there, baby. Yes, it was. Because you can't live a good or a decent life. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. All of those things must be met. And you have to have shelter. You got to feel safe. And not being able to afford a home, to rent, or to buy does not make one feel safe at all. It makes you feel vulnerable. We must do better as a nation, and we can. Housing is a human right.